Hello and welcome to another episode of Discover with Spinati. I have with me a special guest. His name is Dexter. I think I used to call him Charlie. So let's go with Charlie Dexter. And I have him with me today on this lovely Friday, besides episode number 106, is to talk about the summer and how if you don't have teeth that are worthy of showing off, then your summer is not going to be the best. And so, how can you get a perfect summer by having a perfect smile? That's what we're talking about today. And Charlie is going to help me explain this. So today, and also I have some props here with regards to some veneers. I've got some veneers so I can show them to you in real time what they look like, because obviously I'm obsessed with veneers and obviously I'm obsessed with making you look good. And if I can open this, oh, there we go. I was like, it would be so embarrassing if I can open it. Okay, so there you go. This is opened. Okay, and I have my veneers here. I don't know if you can you see them? I don't want them to fall. Anyways, okay, there we go. Starting to fall. So these are veneers. I'm going to show it to you another picture on the slides on how they look. But if you can see them, there we go. You can see how thin it is. You can see it compared to my finger. You can see how thin the shell is. Incredibly thin. And so when we prepare veneers and we reduce a little bit of tooth structure, we're actually not removing a lot. Anyway, getting back to the topic, which is how do you get yourself a nice smile for the summer? Because summer's rolling around. You don't want your summer to look like this. Obviously, you don't want to be hiding your summer, and you don't want to wait like Charlie Dexter here waited, okay, before you get veneers. Isn't that right, Charlie? Yes, he agrees. Okay, yes. See, he agrees. So, what can you do? If you don't like your smile, or if you're hesitant to smile, or you're covering your smile every time that you do smile, then veneers might be the solution for you, or it might be Invisalign followed by veneers, or maybe Invisalign followed by teeth whitening. You never know. We never know until we actually do an examination. So that's the first step. Now, teeth whitening. Okay, and I put here teeth whitening and tooth enamel thickness because that seems to be the number one factor in determining whether or not you're going to get really nice teeth with teeth whitening, really nice teeth looking with teeth whitening. So, what does that mean? That means that if you have very thick enamel, and this is a genetic factor, okay, because not all of us are born with very thick enamel, but I know very few people that are born with extremely thick enamel, and they barely brush their teeth, and their teeth are almost always white. Okay, it's always, and they drink a lot of coffee. So yes, life is not fair. But the thing with dentistry that equalizes the playing field is that you can get the same level of whiteness as they can, and you can even get better whiteness with the lovely magic of veneers. Oh, come on now. Veneers. There we go. Okay. So on this lovely Friday, I want to tell you about this coffee staining thing, because here's the thing that it's a misconception, huge misconception. People think that if you whiten your teeth a lot, even if you drink coffee, you're going to get white teeth. That's not true. And there's a reason. That's the reason why there's toothbrush there surrounded by coffee beans. It's because if you've been brushing your teeth excessively, so I have patients that brush their teeth 3 times, 4 times a day. And I always tell them to stop doing that. And the reason I tell them to stop doing that is because they're actually wearing their enamel faster than normal. And the more that you wear your enamel down, the more you're going to expose the second layer of your tooth, which is the dentin. The dentin is the yellow part. And so the less enamel that you have, no matter how much you whiten, you're actually not going to get the white teeth. You're more than likely going to get the yellow that's going to shine through. So that's why there's that toothbrush associated with the coffee beans. Because if you drink a lot of coffee, it's going to stain your teeth. And then you're thinking to yourself, well, I'm going to get teeth whitening toothpaste, right? Am I right? You're going to get teeth whitening toothpaste. And then from the teeth whitening toothpaste, you're going to scrub that stain away. Unfortunately, that doesn't always work. And actually, with time, it works less and less. And then you start getting more sensitivity as time goes on, because now you're wearing down your enamel. So I got a lot of people asking me, they say, how do I get white teeth? What's the secret in getting white teeth? I say, well, secret number one is get your teeth examined, because your dentist is your best bet at telling you whether or not your teeth have a thick part of enamel, or whether or not you have some root being exposed. Because if your root's starting to get exposed, automatically we know you've been brushing too hard. And if automatically you know you've been brushing too hard, your enamel's not as thick. If you're a smoker, whitening takes a lot longer. Even if you have thick enamel, whitening takes a lot longer. Some studies even say up to 6 months of teeth whitening, so straight. so that you can get white teeth. So, I mean, in order for you to get the best advice so that you can get nice white teeth, the best place to start is not at Shoppers, it's not on Amazon, it's at your dentist's office. And if your dentist is not cosmetically inclined, then go to one that is. That's my advice. So, what are veneers? Now, veneers, as Charlie here will demonstrate. Charlie, please demonstrate. Charlie here has his nice teeth, and this is a nice piece of enamel. And as you can see, when we put the enamel, let me see if I can get this to stay. Like, there you go. See how nicer his teeth look? Wow, look at that. Charlie, I know you'd be so proud to have this. See the difference now, the shape, the size, the conformity, the gaps are closed. It looks a lot nicer. It looks nice and whiter as opposed to that dull white. You see that? That's all because that one veneer went on top. Thank you, Charlie. You've always been a good help. Never talk back at me. You always do what you're told. You always sit there and look pretty. Don't you? Yes, you do. All right. He's blown away by the comment. So, I'm going to put Charlie right here. See, Charlie's a good guy. He doesn't move. All right. So, those are veneers. And that's how it looks in the picture. You can see here how thin it is, insanely thin. Now, who can get them? I can see here those people that have discolored teeth. And the first thing is that you need to get an exam. So, yes, I'm showing you all these examples. You're going to look in the mirror and you're going to look at yourself and you're going to say, well, do I pass the test? Do I pass the requirement for me to get veneers? Well, you won't know. You don't have the experience. You don't have the knowledge. You just have advertisements being sent to your face so that, it convinces you to go and buy things from Amazon or from whatever website they're trying to sell you teeth whitening from. Speaking of which, I don't have it here, but that whitening thing with that light, that blue light, don't buy it. It doesn't do anything at all. It's actually a waste of money. And you know something is that I went to Shoppers and I saw Crest whitening strips. As a matter of fact, everybody sells these portable light things that do absolutely nothing. Like zero. No studies at all. Zero. That just shows you how people they buy things for no reason. And it's expensive. What is it? Like $85 because Crest is selling that whitening light with their whitening strips or whitening whatever. $85, something like that. If you just buy the strips, I think it's like $30. You can literally buy 3 of those strip packages, which are much more effective than you getting just one package of that thing with the light, which then you have to get more. So now you're spending more money and getting less results. It doesn't make much sense, does it? So now you can understand the gimmick. That's why you should be listening to Dr. Spinati and Discover with Spinati on these episodes so that I can enlighten you and let you know what works and what doesn't, and your free source of information so you can ask me any questions that you want. Now, moving on. Who can get them? Who can get them are people that have discolored teeth. So if you have discolored teeth, let's say you worn down your enamel, so your teeth become discolored. Let's say you worn down your enamel and you drink a lot of coffee and your teeth are stained, whatever. And you want to get veneers, cool. Your teeth are chipped, veneers. I think I do this all the time. So yes, that fixes that. Broken, same thing. Gapped. Gapped is a really interesting thing because if you have a lot of gaps, very big gaps, then Invisalign is your number one solution, right? Because you want to close the gaps first. You don't want these overly large, broad teeth. You're gonna look like a train track. It's gonna look terrible. You look like piano keys on your face. It's gonna look terrible. So the first thing you want to do is you want to close the gaps with Invisalign, and then the suggestion is for you to whiten your teeth to see whether you like the whiteness. And if you don't, then it's easy to put veneers on at that point because your bite's balanced. Your teeth are not going to chip, right? Because the worst thing that happens if you don't straighten your teeth is that you put this expensive porcelain on your face and it starts to chip over time. And then you start getting really pissed off that this expensive porcelain is not lasting you long. When in reality, all you needed to spend a little bit more money to make sure that this stuff lasts you for 10, 20 years or even longer. All right, now crookedness. Obviously, crookedness can be fixed with veneers, but the advice is to do Invisalign first. Now, who can't get them? If you have severe crowding, if you have very severe crowding, then no, you cannot get veneers unless you want to hack away a bunch of your teeth. Here we have Dexter. Dexter has straight teeth, okay, because he did ortho. So Dexter has straight teeth. So you can see here his arch is straight. Now, if your arch doesn't look like that, see how it's nice and round? If it doesn't look like that, then you're not a good candidate for veneers. Okay, so look in the mirror, and then you can tell yourself the story of whether or not your arch looks rounded. If you have missing teeth, then obviously veneer is not the option for you. Severely decayed, such as that one, that picture there. If you're very super young, I don't recommend veneers because they're going to look hideous in a few years. And if you have root canal teeth, then more than likely you need a crown. And if you have gum disease, you're bleeding, your gums are bleeding all over the place, then no, then veneers are not a good option. And how do you know if you have any of these? Well, like I said, go see your dentist. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Have yourself a wonderful Friday. And if you want your summer to look as gorgeous as you, be sure to come see us at Spinetti Dentistry. This here is the number. This here is the website. We will help you out, get that confident smile that you're always looking for. Until next time, adios, amigos.